Hey, what is up? Welcome to the Crimson Engine. Today we're shooting a commercial for yoga pants for a brand here based here in LA. We're shooting in my studio, which means we're in a really small space, especially for something that needs a lot of movement. And I've tried to design a lighting setup that gives us a lot of contrast, that gives us a lot of punch, but is also not too harsh. It doesn't look like the sun at midday. It doesn't give people bad reflections around their eyes. I have this beauty dish-like circular LED right above my head here. It's giving me the real punch. It's giving me this shadow under the neck. It's making my face brighter than my body. But so that it's not too harsh, I have a second key behind it by about 10 feet with two Lupo super panels shooting through a 6x6 half grid cloth. That's still from the same direction as the key, still from front and above. It's just a little less harsh. It's a larger source that's going to soften some of those shadows and make the contrast still high, still punchy, but not overwhelming. So let me show you the individual lights. So this is just the circular LED. You can see I can pan that away. Like I said, it gives a kind of Terry Richardson on-camera flash look, but I think it's a little too much. So let me show you what just the grid cloth is doing. So this is the grid cloth by itself. It's adding general illumination to the room. It's also still giving me that shadow, so it is giving me directional light. It's just not punchy enough. So combining that though with the circular LED, I feel gives a nice blend between the two, and it's kind of what the client wanted. In the background here, I just have two light mats pointing into a V-flat that I put a piece of white art tape down the middle of to get rid of the join, and I've cranked up the output on those all the way so that we're kind of flooding out the background and giving us a nice clean white. So I'm maybe a little bit more than halfway through, but so far what's been the main challenge is to try and get a head to foot shot of the performance, because the studio is not wide enough, and if I go on a really wide lens like an 18mm, you end up seeing everything. With a 16:9 long frame, it is really tough to get head to foot because you end up just getting a lot of white space either side. So what I've opted to do is keep it a little bit closer, keep it kind of like over the top of head to the waist, and then pan up and down. Now I'm gonna miss a bunch of cool moments like this because I'll like be on the hips when I should be on the face, or vice versa. But what you end up doing is getting a person to dance for say 3 minutes, like Veronica just did. Looks amazing. I'm only going to use 10 seconds of that 3 minutes. So if I just shoot for the entire 3 minutes, and we did that twice, I'm going to find something that's usable. I'm going to get a couple of shots, and I sort of see them as I'm operating. It's just me here today, no assistant, no B camera, no grip, no gaffer, just me and the C200, which means that I can make some adjustments, or I can save myself a lot of adjustments and exposure in post, so I don't need as many people. Would have been nice to have one more person, but there really isn't anywhere to put them in this studio. It's so small that a second person would just kind of be in the way. So shooting solo, getting what I hope will be a good result. Another thing I did is quite a few people have done stuff on the floor. Some of the acrobats did handstands or that sort of stuff low down. I've had to lower the light, but I've also put in the Quasar 4-foot, I think they're called the Q8s or the Q10s, on the ground to give a little bit of uplight, because even though this setup is a really nice punch on the face, like a lot of and saturates the face, it does mean that you don't cover as much on the bottom half of the body. And because this commercial is advertising leggings, we do want contrast and color and exposure on the lower half of the body. So I put in that Q8 to get a little bit, to raise the level just a little bit, and it looks fine on the monitor as I'm operating. We'll have to find out what it looks like when I actually go into the edit, but so far so good.